All right, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Mind of the Blurred Gaming Edition. I am the host, Bo, and we have a special guest today, uh, recurring special guest. We just not sure put it that way. Um, Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Let me put my phone down. I'm over here editing a goddamn Instagram reel. What's good, y'all? It's Aaron, aka the Lost Homie, aka the Anime Anthology from the Black Anime Podcast, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all that. You know what I'm saying? We here, we here. What's up with it?
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh, also,
you,
also, I'm the best guest they've ever had on this show.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'm the best. I'm the
You
best.
literally are. You're the one that we get here whenever something like well, anything actually. We like you to come in here for like
exactly, exactly,
anything.
exactly. You know what I mean? I got the opinions. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make the streets go on fire. That's it.
Yeah, you got the best takes and opinions. So we like to have you here because of all those best takes and opinions. But yeah, this is gonna be a fun episode today. Steve will be joining us in a few minutes because he had to like we had some technical issues, so he had a sprint from his dog walk, so he's trying to look good on camera before he gets back. So, um,
I don't know how he's supposed to do that. So,
me either. So, but he's gonna make it work somehow.
yeah, I mean,
Um,
he got stand next to us too, and he think he gonna look good. Crazy.
nah, he ain't gonna look good. No, but yeah. So today we're just gonna talk about the Xbox showcase. So there's a lot of things that they showed, and a lot of things that well we all have opinions of it, whether it is good or bad. So mostly we're just gonna talk a lot of stuff about it. Mostly might be shit, so we don't know. Let's see how it goes. But it's positive. There's some positive things in there that I saw.
Oh,
So
there's a lot of positive stuff for me to say,
yeah,
and I mean, there's some negatives, obviously, because there's always some negatives.
yeah,
But there's a lot of positives for me to say, honestly, about the game show. But there's also a lot of stuff I feel like a lot of people are saying a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff about it that I feel like is false. It's just, it's just straight false. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. It don't even make sense. Some of the stuff people saying about it. But you know what? We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
okay. So let's start off with the. Let's see. What should we start? Let's start with our old. Let me ask you this. So, what was your what's what I'm looking for? What do you think about the game showcase? Was it do you think that it's fair to compare it to like the PlayStation State of Play now, or like Xbox Xbox did good to show what they showed because whenever Xbox shows anything, everyone likes to compare like State of Play, PS Now, Nintendo Direct, all that kind of bullshit, and they don't give Microsoft the credit of what they showed. So I don't know what you think about it because I think honestly it was actually good. They actually like explained and told us what to expect instead of like being like, "Hey, we're just gonna like tease you with every other like trailer and stuff until we show you gameplay." But
So I'm sorry, I'm writing a post about this on our Twitter. You know, what I mean, Black Anime BLX6K Anime Watcher. So anyway, but so no. Now and there's a big I have a big explanation for that. I think I was in Paris. If you know who Paris is, you know the guy who he's a black guy who does a lot of Xbox content, well PC,
right,
everything. He's a gamer's gamer. And so I was in his live and um he was saying that he thinks that Xbox should do more state of play style things. I agree and disagree on that. I think state of play is good if you're a hardcore gamer fan type thing, right? And this gets into the area we talk about real gamers and not real gamers, right?
hmm
Which is, I mean, end of the day is a mute conversation, right? You game, you can be a gamer, who cares? But at the same time, the state of plays by PlayStation in reality have been largely disappointing.
yeah,
They've been largely disappointing. And if you say different, then I can't shush your opinion. They've been largely disappointing. Most of the state of plays, they go over, and again, I'm a big indie guy, but they go over like the indiest of indie games. They'll go
right,
into a state of play and they'll talk about games that like that no one's really ever heard of. Right. And even though Xbox does that too, but they'll do it with studios that they have in-house that they're raising up that made it started out with like a 5 to 10 studio, but now they're working with 15 to 20, 30, you know what I mean? With Xbox funding behind them. You know, Sony doesn't always do that. Sony just comes out and says, yeah, here's some stuff. And I'd rather them do it in a bigger showcase where you have big game, little game, little game, little game, big game, little game, little game, little game, little game, instead of doing that. If you're gonna give me those small showcases, I'd rather be updates on the games that people are really waiting for, right? So like if you're gonna do me a small update every 6 months, to give me a small update on Spider-Man 2. Give me a small update on Wolverine production. Give me a small update. Don't give me a state of play every month on an indie game that you're also not offering. Like, and this is the new world we're in, right? With Game Pass. Game Pass has created a new world. That's just a fact. Whether you like it, you hate it, love it, whatever, Game Pass has created a new world. And with what Game Pass has done, you're showing me an indie game which you're expecting me to pay, and this is Sony, $30 to $60 on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
$30 to $60 on. And I'm like, why? Why? Why would I do that? When on Game Pass, they show me an indie game and I could play it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that's like the biggest difference between the two. And with this show, I think this show again, this was on a level of what we would see from Xbox at E3. This is on a level of what we see from Xbox at one of the other summer game shows. It's not like something where they're going where they're like, yo, we're going to give you the bare bones. They gave us surprises. They gave us stuff that we didn't think we was going to see. And if they're going to do that, then they can do this every year for all I care. Who gives a fuck? And I'm saying that's what I want. So I think that's just no. This is nowhere near state of play. Nowhere near. Now, again, they could do it, but this is nowhere near state of play.
All right.
That's what I think is crazy too. Paying money for a game that's free on Game Pass, like Back 4 Blood, and like what was it, Knockout City?
Knockout
Stuff like that.
City. Yeah.
They didn't get Knockout City for almost 6 months, first of all, and then they turned around and paid $24 for it. It was like, are y'all crazy? And then like the new Ninja Turtles game that's about to come out, Shredder's Revenge or something like that. It's like an arcade side scroller. It's gonna be on Game Pass, but then it's gonna be.
I didn't even know that. When I was looking forward to that, I was like, man, I want to play. See.
Yeah, and then it's gonna be $32 on PlayStation.
Oh yeah, and also the game I played on stream this one time. It's called it's an indie game. It's a really good indie game though. Can't remember. I was playing on stream with this little fox person with a sword. But anyway,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's going to PlayStation 2, and again, it's going to probably be about $30, $40.
Mm-hmm. It's just crazy to me. I don't know. I just think that's wild to when you know that they're going to be free on Game Pass. But I think the big rave about PlayStation is, we got God of War, Spider-Man, stuff like that. But it's like all the people that rave about that, they're not even real gamers. They beat the game. They beat the game and they never gonna play Spider-Man again. It's
I said it earlier. I mean, this flirts into the territory of like real gamer versus non-real gamer. Conversational, elitist gatekeeping bullshit, and that's the truth though. That's true. I gotta say this. Just as a premise, as a premise, whatever. My problem with the reaction to much of the Xbox game show is it's from people who I don't feel like really play games. That's just okay. That's just how I really feel. I'm gonna say that because there's no way you watch the game show, and this I was going back and forth, not back and forth, but I was conversing with somebody on Twitter about this, and they was like, "Oh, it sucks," and I was like, "They showed about 30 games, right?" And this is also porting over Persona. Big surprise. That's a crazy thing. That's a big thing. That I don't think people are making enough noise about. That's actually huge for Xbox to get a Japanese game to level up Persona 5 and 3, and that's a big ass deal. And I'm like, was there at least 10 games out of the 30 that made you want to play them? And he was like, yeah, there was about 6 to 8 I think was pretty interesting that I will play. Then it's a success. It's a success because they're not making games for you. They're making games for everyone. Yeah. So if they show 30 games and you only like one, then personally for you that's a failure, and I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I can't judge on how somebody likes games, right? But for people to sit here and be like, they showed shooters, they showed adventure, they showed action, they showed PC, they showed MOBAs, they showed basically almost every style of game from different developers across the country, across the world. And to be like, oh nah, it's a failure because I didn't like Starfield. Okay, like that's not like come on man, like that doesn't make it a failure. Like I'm like that's the thing. It's like I tweeted about this. I didn't think I don't know anybody personally. Oh, actually, that's true. I probably do know at least like 2 people that play Forza Horizon religiously, right? I know people might log into the game. It's a free game. Probably log in for a few hours once it comes out. Boom. They go. I don't know anybody plays that game, but they claim they got 20 million people playing regularly Forza Horizon. And if those numbers are accurate and true, that means it doesn't matter what the fuck I think. It does not matter what I think if they have 20 million people playing Forza Horizon, and that's proof of concept that they can keep dropping Forza Horizon content, and at least 20 million people are going to play.
Correct.
That's a lot of fucking people. That's more people than that's probably on Call of Duty servers right now.
Yeah. And by the way, you can play 2K and Call of Duty on any console. You don't have to get a PlayStation for that.
Exactly.
people got a PlayStation, and the only game they play is Call of Duty. I'm like,
come on now. And that's the thing. It's like people. It's like I don't know. It's people play the exclusive game, but and I'm gonna get into my bag. I'm gonna get into my duffel. People play the exclusive game, right? When Xbox and Sony has the same amount of excuses. Quality, be damned. People love both of them. People love Gears of War. People love God of War. People love Halo. There's not really equivalent for Halo. There's not an equivalent for Halo on Sony. That's an exclusive. They used to have one in what's the word? The Shadow was the Shadow one. Oh my gosh, Killzone. In Killzone, they used to have this with Killzone. Killzone's dead. The last game they made a Killzone was fucking garbage. It was trash. So they don't have an equivalent for Halo, right? But they got the Horizon series, fire, cool, bet. God of War series, fire, cool, bet. Spider-Man, I still think it's bullshit, but fire, cool, bet, right? My thing is, we have no clue when Spider-Man 2 is coming out. We have no clue when God of War is coming out. No idea. Xbox came and said within 12 months, and we should, as gamers, as people, as consumers, we should be clocking them on this. 12 months, we gonna release at least 3 AAA games.
3 AAA games, yeah.
And what, 2 of them are new IPs?
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Come on. That's running the table to me. Because Sony hasn't even given a new IP, and all the Japanese IPs they used to have that are the best ones that we know of, besides Ghost of Tsushima, I think. Most of the new Japanese IPs that Xbox, they got Yakuza now, they got Persona now, and Sony fans praise Persona as one of the best games to ever come out. So now when they get it, now it's like, oh no, it's all right, it's not even that good anymore.
Yeah.
Come on now, like y'all was like, just a year ago, y'all say, oh, Persona 5 Royal, oh yeah, Xbox fans, oh my gosh, y'all can't play this great. Now this shit come for free on Game Pass. I don't think I'll pay for it. Y'all pay $60 for that?
Same with Overwatch.
Same with Overwatch.
I'm gonna get it for free. Y'all about to pay $70 for Overwatch 2. 70. Y'all realize that, right? $70 for it. I'm just gonna say that. That's all I'm gonna say, man. $70 for that, and I'm gonna get it for free. Hey, man.
Yeah, and the thing is that I was also like in a space that like you when they were talking about like the Xbox showcase, and there was a dude that was saying that out of the 30 games that you said it showed, like he said like it wasn't after watching the showcase, because on State of Play they show like they're remaking or remastering The Last of Us again, so on PS5, and he was like how watch the State of Play and then comparing this to like the Xbox showcase. And he's like, you know what? Last of Us Part 1 is looking a lot better than the showcase. I'm like, why? Just because you didn't find any game on the Xbox showcase, you're comparing a game that they remastered twice. Let me tell you, twice. They remastered for the PS4 and remastering the game for the PS5. So you're telling me that you'd rather replay a game on the PS5 than to play any of the new games on the Xbox.
My thing is you got messed up when you actually listen to a Sony fan talk because they don't have brain cells.
I know.
I'm not saying Xbox fans do either, but do you not remember when last year Sony fans was hype as hell? It was so hyped. It was so hyped for God of War and Spider-Man. That's it. There wasn't hype for any other game. There was no other game shown there. There was the Sony showcase last year had God, and we could talk about Wolverine. We have no clue. We're not gonna get Wolverine to 2025.
Yeah,
we're not gonna get Wolverine. We have no clue when we get in that game because they're still working on Spider-Man 2 and more likely DLC for Spider-Man 2. So we're not getting Wolverine. So I'll give 2024. I'll give winter 2024. Right, and the Wonder Woman game is multi-platform. It's been confirmed. It's multi-platform. So y'all was hype for 2 games, and the rest of the showcase was multi-platform or boring. like even if Microsoft shows multi-platform games, I'm playing them for free. You're paying them for $70.
Right, because everything that is shown in the Microsoft showcase will be on Game Pass.
Mhm.
So like like they yo. My thing is this: a lot of people are saying a lot of the games they're like, oh, cartoony games. I'm gonna be real. Flintlock wasn't cartoony, and people say, oh, it's Xbox God of War. Okay, thank you.
That's a compliment.
Thank you. You think it's good enough to compete with God of War? Thank you. Like you were trying to say things that like okay, all right then. So now we got something that competes with God. Y'all already thinking before a game comes out, because I wasn't thinking that. I saw the mechanics. Was like, oh wow, kind of close to God of War. It could be cool. And y'all like, oh nah, they made Xbox's God of War. Oh, so you think it's good enough already off first look to compete with basically the flagship franchise of PlayStation right now? Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That's fine with me. That sounds great to me. Come on now. Like the whole showcase, bro. I'm watching it and I'm enjoying it. I'm like, yo, I messaged both of y'all on Twitter. I'm like, yo, Grounded full game coming out. I know what I'm doing in September. I'm about to be a Grounded streamer. I'm about to play that shit every day. I'm gonna be doing it. We're gonna be teaming up off team. I'm gonna be up there. I'm trying to build a base that spans the entire map. We about to go hard on that, right? I'm excited for that. Like I actually do love Minecraft side story games. I think the side story games are pretty cool. I like how they weave in different play styles, stuff like that. Flintlock, Wulong, Redfield. Somebody said Redfield looked generic, and I was like,
okay, so I watched Redfield, and I think it was actually pretty good. Now
that's what I thought too.
It did give me that Left 4 Dead kind of vibe, but it was more like a more better version of Left 4 Dead with better class system.
As long as it's better than Back 4 Blood, it's a success.
Yeah,
this is true.
That's it.
This is true. Yeah,
that's it. Because Back 4 Blood is it's okay, but like if it's better than Back 4 Blood, and all my thing is, I think most of the gameplay we saw saw on Sunday was beta gameplay. It was beta. More likely, right now even though I'm gonna defend Starfield a little bit, I hope that's alpha gameplay because that gameplay was a little rough. But at the same time, again, I think Redfield looks good. I think it looks good. I can't wait to play it.
it looks good. I'm actually looking forward to playing the Redfield.
Oh yeah, I think I'm hoping it's not as bullet spongy as it looks. I'm hoping that because I hope we get before it comes out, we get a nice long gameplay or a beta test or something like that, so we can really see how they play more. Because this is the thing that everybody hates about what gameplay videos, when the person playing the game fucking sucks and you just kind of watch them like, yo, you like use the abilities. We didn't use.
Show us what we got.
Show us what we can do. Use the shit. Use it like, yo, what are you doing? He's like running into a wall and like not on a jump. You run, play the game, Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. When it comes to Redfield and those games like that, man. I think those games are really not genre defining, but I think it'll be really good. I think it'll be really good, better than what we think they are, what they're going to be.
Yeah, I think honestly, all the games that were showed, like I said earlier, and I'll say it again, they were all good. Especially how they showed there was this sci-fi looking game that I thought was pretty cool. I thought it was Dead Space, but it actually got me excited to play it. Can't remember what it's called. Something Crypto something Cypher something. I can't remember what the name was.
Let me see. I have it. I have all. I think I have the full list right here.
Yeah, because it was a space looking game. Let me see if I could find it real quick.
Let's see, a space looking game. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Scorn. It's not talking about Scorn. Scorn's the one in hell.
Yeah, it's on the one in hell.
Yeah, there is A Plague's Tale, which actually I'm looking forward to that one too. Hollow Knight, yeah. Oh, Redfall. I keep calling it Redfield. It's Redfall. Jesus Christ.
Redfall, yeah.
I don't see what game we're talking about. The list I have doesn't have it.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's a different game.
Oh, you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. That was from That one was on. I think that one's a multi when I was on the Sony showcase. I think. Yeah, that was from the Sony showcase. I think.
Oh, was it Sonic? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was the
okay.
multi. That was I think that one's multi-platform, and that was from the Sony
Okay,
showcase.
then I think there was one I was looking for was the plague was like a different game. Yeah, never mind then. But yeah, Finlock was good. Um, I don't know about Arc 2 because Arc 2 is like, I mean, it's Arc. I don't know how Arc.
Well, I mean that could be interesting. I mean, because I'm pretty sure this is another one like so like the biggest point of all of these things, right? The biggest point of making games right now is to make people buy a PlayStation 5 or a Series X. That's the most important thing. And for Microsoft's case, it's also to have them buy a PC with Microsoft parts, right? Or Microsoft, you know what I'm saying? That's the biggest
Right.
point. So that's what they're trying to do right now. That's what they're trying to do right now. So the question you have to ask yourself is, after watching the showcase, do you want to buy a PlayStation 5 within the next year? Within the next year. That's what they said 12 months. They said
Mhm.
12 months because it's within the next year, because that's when it matters. That's all that matters. If you want to buy, if you're waiting for Wolverine to come out, that's 2024. You can wait till winter 2023 to buy a PS5 digital on discount, right? You don't
Right.
gotta buy that. You don't gotta buy that right now. But if it's God of War, you kind of gotta think, oh, should I get it right now? It might come out now. Should I get a PS5 right now? If I really want this God of War game, should I get it now? Right? Because it's going to be a PS5 exclusive. We know that. Spider-Man 2, same thing, right? So have they shown sufficient enough like stuff that makes you want to buy a Series X by next year, right? Within the next 12 months, right? And I think with the showcase, for if I gotta say within your expectations, this is what you want. Like for me, after watching it, I would say, yeah, I kind of want that Series X because there's about 4 or 5 first party games on Game Pass that I want, that I know I can get like easily, like
Right.
without having to put down, $60-$70, right?
Right.
But Sony, on the other hand, I'm still waiting. Now I want to play Horizon. I want to play God of War. I want to play Spider-Man. I want to play Ghost of Tsushima, right? And there's about 2 other games I want to play. That's about 7 games over 4 years.
Mhm.
That's not enough for me to buy the console right now. That's not enough. That's not enough. That's just not enough. That's not enough for me to get it because I got to buy the game and then I got to buy 3. I got to buy those games, which are all $70, right? Unless I pay $30 a month for PS Now, which all the games aren't on there either. So it's like either way, I'm going to end up having to shell out $70 for at least 2 or 3 of those games when I can buy the Series X, pay $15 a month, or I game share, so I don't even pay $15 a month for Game Pass.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. So so basically, the way the new PlayStation service works now, how when they combine the PS Now and the PS Plus, basically, if you want to play any like first party games, you can't really play them based on what I have seen so far. I don't know how that's going to change in the future because whenever a first party game comes on Game Pass, it goes
It's
straight
day
to Game
one.
Pass.
It's day one.
Yeah, day one on the PlayStation Now and stuff. Basically, with the new one, uh, they didn't say it was going to be in day one. So basically,
We already know it's not going to be day one,
not
right?
going to be day one.
And it's not going to be. I think the worst thing they have done, and this is something I think Xbox also, and I think somebody else said this too. Worst thing that Xbox is doing right now, and they're both doing, is having tiers. Why do we have tiers anymore? It's stupid. Like what PS Now has an essential tier, a plus tier, a premium tier, all 3 different prices. But the whole incentive is to get the premium tier. The essential tier is fucking garbage. The essential tier is basically goddamn Xbox Silver. Like it's
Yeah.
like, what's the point? It's like, what's the point of even having that tier? Like it's, and I get it. So it's for people who don't want all these. If I'm gaming regularly, even semi regularly, I'm going to want at least the stuff in the plus tier. Why make an essential tier? Why make the low tier? It's stupid. Why do we even have Xbox Silver anymore? It's dumb.
Yeah,
Like
because I think I tried all the tiers, and basically when you go to the plus tiers, you don't even get to download like how you could like download a game and then play it. You don't even get to do that unless you get the premium tier. So basically, all the first party games like Spider-Man, Miles Morales, you can only stream it. So you can't download it on the system to play unless you get the premium tier, which lets you download it and then play it. So basically, Sony is asking people to pay more money for something that doesn't really make sense to play a game on the console instead of streaming. Compared to Xbox, where you like what play like what $15 a month just to play all 100 plus games on the all 100 games for a whole month, and then and then you can download them if you want to, or cloud stream it, however you want to play it. But majority of people want to download it so they can have the option instead of like having a tier system that lets you say, hey, you go to stream on this tier, but if you get this other tier, you can stream and download the game if you want to. It shouldn't even be like that.
No, like it doesn't make sense because like even like I'm looking over the tiers again right now, and with the PS Plus Essential, you get to download each month's new rotating lineup of games for no cost, right? And PS Plus Extra, it gives you a slate of specific games that they can play for themselves, right?
Hmm.
You can literally do all that in Xbox Live Gold.
Right.
I have to bump up a tier. I have to pay what $5. So 14.99 a month for PS Plus Extra gets me the same that what $10 a month gives me for Xbox Live Gold. And then for $15 a month, I get more than what PS Plus Premium offers.
Mm.
It don't make sense. Like it don't,
Yeah,
it don't
it
make
doesn't make
sense. It don't
sense.
make sense. At the end of the day, it does not make sense. Like it's
Yeah,
not like the math ain't mathing. I don't get it. It's
yeah,
not making sense. Like I'm not getting a bigger bang for my buck in riding with the speed. So like me. So like as me who I've had a PlayStation for a while now, right? How does this incentivize me to go over to PlayStation? And I'm not even saying they need. I'm not even saying that they need a a Game Pass like system,
you
but
don't.
you're asking me to pay the same amount I pay for Game Pass to get less stuff, to get less options, right? Now, if they take out the essential tier and they just have extra and premium, make extra $10, make premium 15, then of course I'm still like, yeah, I get more for Game Pass, but you know what? I'll just get extra for 10 and I'll be okay. But how
Yeah,
can I justify paying $20 a month for premium when I'm getting less of a value than I would have for Game Pass? And they talk and it's not like I'm getting more games. It's not I'm getting more games because most of the game on that PlayStation Store, besides the catalog of PlayStation games, which I haven't checked how long it is. Besides that, most of the games that they're going to offer on there are cross-platform games that are either probably on Game Pass, have been on Game Pass before, or have been on Game Pass for free for like 30 days, like Red Dead Redemption or GTA. So it's like so again, it's not giving you a bang for your buck. Like you, at the end of the day, it's like it's I just don't think it's enough. But I don't think it's enough. I think they could have done so much more to make the value worth it, and instead they didn't.
yeah. It's. I mean, it's obviously like a work in progress. So let's see how that happens. But yeah, we're like ramble off about how PlayStation haven't screwed up like the Game Pass clone. Let's talk more about the Xbox, the showcase. So, what do you think? So, basically, what game were they like games that you said like 'cause I know people like watched it and was like, the graphics don't look that great. But then again, this is all like just demo. Because when people watch the showcase, most of the comments that I saw was like, "Oh, this is why does the graphics look like a PlayStation 2 graphics? Why is it not running? Why does Starfield run in 30 frames per second instead of 60 frames per second? Like little tiny details like that. Because at the end of the day,
There's only
yeah.
one game that I thought ran kind of like shit, and that was Starfield. Starfield's the only game where I looked at and I was like, yeah, this kind of running like shit. All right, you could tell it was unfinished. You could tell that I'm glad that they said that they pushed it back to 2023. I'm glad it's no longer coming in. I think it was supposed to come in November. Push it, give it to us in April. Give it to us in February. Don't take your time. And that's the thing that doesn't make sense to me about gamers in general, both sides of the aisle, gamers in general, right? When it comes to consoles, because I'm not counting PC, gamers in general, they complain about rushing the game. Don't rush your game. Don't rush your game. No, take your time. Give us the best product. Give us the best product. Then we have a game like Cyberpunk, just the easiest one, and Anthem, but Cyberpunk 2077 gets delayed 3 times. They're like, yo, we not done. We not done. We not done. By delayed 3, we making memes online. We say, yo, give us the game. Give us the game. Y'all said it was done. Give us the game. Give it to us now. Give it to us now. But crying and screaming and shit. He give it to you, and it's horrible. Fucking trash. Trash game, right? I mean, if you can, like, it's mainly trash because the bugs are horrible. It's not a finished game, right? And now Xbox is telling you, hey, we've talked to the studios. They said they push this back, but they said we're gonna get it within 12 months. So you're gonna at least get it by this time next year. It's been about 3 years in development. They've only pushed it back once or twice, whatever. Boom, you're gonna get the game. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they would make us wait for the game. How could they do that? But then 6 months ago, y'all was saying, nah, wait.
Yeah,
y'all
wait.
Like y'all kept posting the picture of the Japanese dude, what's his name? A rush game is bad forever, but a whatever game is good for whatever, right? Like y'all was posting all that shit, but now when they tell you, oh yeah, we gonna wait a little bit, now y'all got a problem. It don't make sense. The contradiction, the double standard, it don't make sense because y'all saying that, but y'all quiet on God of War not having a release date, even though y'all known about it for 2 years. Y'all quiet on Spider-Man 2 not having a release date. Y'all quiet on it, but they gave us at least they gave us a window, a time.
Yeah, a time frame of when.
A time frame, like that's the thing, man. It's the double standards. It's all this. It's like, and there was somebody in like Paris's space. They came up and said, he said, you know what? He contradicted himself real quick. He started off by saying, I thought that they were going to give us some more far off looks of games in the future. They really just gave us gameplay. They should have told us beforehand that it was only going to be 12 months. It was like, I know it was my expectations, but I thought we would get more. So
I was in that space.
Right. Then they talked for like 2-3 minutes. And then he's like, well, I'm actually really glad that, I'm really glad that they gave us, a 12-month schedule, told us exactly what we're getting. And they only showed gameplay. And I was like, you can't have both. You can't have both.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. It's like that's what I'm saying. It's a contradiction. It's a double standard. It's I don't know when this started happening, but for some reason, a lot of gamers seem to hold Xbox, Microsoft at this high ass standard that every game has to be the defining game of the console or it's trash, right? But we don't give PlayStation that same standard.
No.
Like we don't give PlayStation that same standard.
No.
Like PlayStation has had and we how we know we don't, because one, most PlayStation games are multi-platform. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Second thing, most of the games that don't do that good are like Japanese games, but they're the only ones on that platform that no one really talks about. They do a bad game, people just brush under the bridge. Yeah, we'll talk about Xbox. Do one bad game. The thing is this: in a bad game, Halo isn't a bad game.
Halo is not bad.
It's not bad. It's just you could just tell that it feels like they don't care about it. That's the problem. It just feels like they don't care about Halo Infinite Warfare. But it's not a bad. Halo Infinite. It's not a bad game. It just feels like they don't care about it. That's just being real, right? And so it's like, but the thing is, what game is competing with Halo on the PlayStation side? Not one.
Not one.
And what shooter is competing with it right now? None of them. Because we're not even really getting, like, maybe if Titanfall was still coming out, I'd be like, yeah, Titanfall competing with it. Call of Duty been trash for years. So Battlefield 2045 was a dumpster fire that could have been predicted from somebody from 30 years ago. 2045 was horrible. So the shooter landscape right now is actually really bad in general. But but there's nothing else on the Sony side exclusive that's competing with it. Even and so it's like at the end of the day, it's just weird to me. It's just weird to me that we're having these conversations about stuff when there's no definable fact about it. It's all opinions that then end up being contradicted because y'all don't say the same shit about Sony. Why don't y'all talk about Killzone anymore? Why don't y'all say, oh, why doesn't Sony have a multiplayer game that everybody wants to play? Like they don't even have a good. They don't even have a answer to Gears of War for real. I'm just being honest. Like, if Gears of War, Halo, Starfield, like let's say this. Gears of War, new Gears of War dropped, a new Halo dropped, Fable dropped, Skyrim 6 dropped, all in the same year. How does Sony compete with that? They have three IPs. Like they have 5 IPs.
Mm-hmm.
How do they compete with that? I'm just saying right now. That's what I'm saying. I wish Sony was pushing out more games. Like I'm not even talking about AAA titles. I'm talking about double single A's and some more like indies. And I feel like they need to be more multi-platform just right now, just because you don't hear people talking about them. I don't hear people talking about Sony indie games. Like the last time we hear people talk was Kenna Bridge of Spirits, right? And I think they got a 70 or 80 Metacritic. I forget what they got on Metacritic. But after that, when's the last indie game from Sony that people really talked about? But I can point out indie games from Microsoft that people talk about.
What was it? Fallout Guys doesn't count as an indie game, does it?
But that's on Xbox and it's on PC. It started on
Well,
PC.
it's now on Xbox. Originally it was on PlayStation, but now it's on Xbox.
Originally it was on PC, then it went to PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, originally it was on PC. That's a PC game that will port it or got moved to PlayStation.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right. Well, yeah. Honestly, I don't see people. Yeah, people talk about Sony a lot, about like you said earlier, like the exclusivity, but there's not a game on PlayStation, like you said, that could compare with Halo multiplayer. Sony doesn't have a multiplayer game that we can say like, hey, this is compared with Halo. Now, some people will say Destiny 2, but that is multi-platform.
It's not, and whether it's no longer has exclusive to Sony anymore, PlayStation anymore.
Right.
I'm just being real. And even I don't think it ever. And they're right. They might change in 3 years, but so far they said it's not going to change. So, I don't know, man. I thought the showcase did a great job. Like I'm looking through the list, and almost every game on this list, I've seen people talking about whether positive negatively. Redfall, a lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. Hollow Knight, people was out there crying on stream for Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight, High on Life, people been talking about that.
Nah, that game was fun.
High on Life looked fun. Like the gameplay was smooth. All that. Right, the Riot Games thing. PC gamers was like, yo, this when PC gamers who were like, you know what, I might get back into League of Legends now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on now. A Plague's Tale Requiem. I feel like if you like a Plague's Tale first one, you're gonna like this one. And the game also looked really good. I'm sorry that watching that trailer made me want to play a Plague's Tale.
Yeah, it made me want to play the first ones. Yeah,
exactly. Forza has its audience. Microsoft Flight Simulator was apparently one of the most popular games on Xbox of all of Xbox Series X. One of the most popular games of the entire console. So it has its audience. Which surprised the hell out of me too. Yeah. When they showed the player count, I was like, Flight Simulator, but it surprised the hell out of me. Overwatch 2, hate it or love it, it has its audience. And then we got Elder Scrolls Online, hate it or love it, has its audience. Let's see what else we got. Arc 2 has its audience. Scorn, people can't. When Scorn comes out, people are gonna be streaming Scorn. As soon as it comes out, every horror game streamer, everyone who does horror games on a stream, everybody's gonna be playing it.
Mm-hmm.
Flintlock. Y'all think it's as good as God of War. Let's see what else we got here. We got Naraka Blade Point. That I promise you that was going to go off. I watch people play that. I'm going to play that. Mm-hmm. And we got Grounded. Grounded again was a very popular game for Xbox. Diablo fucking 4. which was a surprise to all of us that we got Diablo 4 with Diablo 4 gameplay and stuff on it. What else we got?
Let's see. Wolong.
Wolong, Persona coming to Xbox, Hideo Kojima partnership. Like how many games did I just name, bro? Like that's the thing. It's like y'all say there's nothing, but those are all games that are going to get played, are going to have an audience. Like I don't get it.
Exclusively on console for majority of them. So it's like,
That's all I'm saying, man.
yeah.
All
Like-
those games that y'all are going to play, like not every single one of y'all, but those are all games that are good, that have possibilities of being really good, that people are going to love to play.
Mhm. And the thing is that I don't know if Diablo 4 is going to be multi-platform, but
From what I'm seeing, it's going to be multi-platform, which is fine. Again, it's fine.
which is
Doesn't matter.
fine. But it's going to be free on Xbox.
Game,
which-
yeah, it's going to be
yeah.
Game Pass.
on free-
So it's like, who cares? Like that's woo. It's like people saying like, oh, no games. Okay, but I'm just like, but I've seen people talk positively. The games I haven't seen people talk about positively before about all of those games I just said.
Yeah.
Like it's so and people it's like, and that's the thing, people want to like, they focus on games that they're not going to play. Like Pentiment, some people are going to play that. Ereborn Shadow Legacy, some people are going to play that. Sea of Thieves has its audience. They
Mhm.
wouldn't still put money in it. They would not still be putting money in the Sea of Thieves if people weren't playing it. Let's just be real. Let's be real with ourselves for a second.
Yeah. People play Seas of Thieves a lot. There's a lot of people that play Seas of
A
Thieves.
lot of people don't play that.
A lot. Like I was kind of like, because I look at the numbers of the games after watching the Xbox showcase, and they're actually like a decent amount of people that play Seas of Thieves to like make them to have more content, and they release content like at least twice a month, or
It'll
like,
be free.
and it's free.
It's free.
Like I haven't seen it. I don't like
Yeah.
have the DLC how to pay for it. Like all this is free for Game Pass.
The only thing that surprised me was Fallout 76. That was the only thing I looked at, and I was like, wow. Now that's a game I'm really like, who is playing Fallout 70? Yo, nobody on my friends list plays Fallout 76.
Yeah, I think. I
Maybe
mean,
it's
I
the
think
PC maybe it's the PC players. Maybe it's the PC players that are playing Fallout 76 because they can mod it. Maybe that's what it is. I could see Fallout 76 have a big modding community, but like actually playing it regularly, no way.
I mean, unless they fixed a lot of the bugs and made it more enjoyable, then I guess that they get more audience. But besides that, I don't see like many people playing it. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if people still play, because you have people who are Fallout fans that will play any Fallout game, no matter how good or bad it is. So
Not as real. That is
Yeah.
real.
so
And they're weird for that because
weird. Yeah, just the same people that are weird
even
enough-
though I was almost bamboozled with Fallout 76 because it looked good in the trailers,
yeah, it looked good.
but as soon as
looked
it
good.
dropped,
Yeah,
it sank. When it dropped, it sank. It just sank.
mm-hmm.
Just hilarious, honestly.
I think so. And because there was a lot of things that I didn't like, and I don't know why they would. I don't know why they didn't do it in the first place. Because there was a lot of things that was missing in the Fallout 76 that didn't make it like a Fallout game. One of them was interactions with humans. There was no human civilization in there. And you know what? After the complaints about that, guess what? They added a
They
DLC.
added it. And then they started adding paid DLC, and people are like, "Yo, why are we paying for this?
Yeah, we're all paying for this. Yeah,
We're paying to fix your fuck ups. That's crazy."
yeah, look, you do. And then they have like a membership thing that you can pay, which is like, I don't understand why you want
Such a
membership.
money grab. It was such a money.
Yeah,
it was just such a money grab
It
game.
was just for some reason, I don't know why. Like they just put in all this money grab shit, and then cosmetics is fine. But if you like me to like pay like a membership like
Yep.
to do some other extra stuff that I can't do in the regular game, then that's just like money grab.
That's a big F you to the fans. Big
Yeah,
F you to the fans. Big F you to the fans.
But you know what? People still do it. People still buy
They
the
still
membership.
play, and they bought it, and they still playing it. I don't,
They
hey
still
man,
play it. I
it could
understand.
not be me. It could not be me.
Not be
Just
me
being
either,
real.
so. Yeah,
But
crazy.
I want to talk about Starfield because it's kind of like the only thing we didn't really touch on. And well, we did, but like I get the hate but I don't get the over hate. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I understand.
I get the hate, but I don't get the over hate.
Yeah, I don't understand either. But you know what? I'm okay with what they showed because they showed us gameplay, which mattered the most. We haven't even seen any gameplay of what it looked like, and the gameplay was like it looked good. I won't gonna lie, it actually looked interesting. Like they tell us what we're going to be expecting, all that kind of stuff. The character customization. You could create your own ship, you could create your own base. I mean, it all looked good on paper. Like it's all looking good. Now,
It's
my only thing that kind of threw me off was said that the planet they showed, like this is one of the thousands of planets you can explore. I'm like, what? I can explore 1,000 planets. You didn't say 100. You said thousands. Like, how big is this fucking game? Like,
yeah. For me, and this is also one of my issues with let's talk about what people are comparing it to, No Man's Sky, but you could also compare it to Elite Dangerous. You could also compare it to what is it, Star Citizen, right? There's other games that have the same idea behind it. That's not just No Man's Sky, but No Man's Sky is the most popular. But that's my problem with No Man's Sky. I like No Man's Sky. But I only have about 10 to 15 hours in the game, right? And that's nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough to get to any depth in the game. And if you play No Man's Sky, right?
yeah, I played
You
like
need you need like a week of hours in. You need like a week of hours in No Man's Sky to get to the parts where you're fighting giant robots and you have the equipment to survive.
right.
Right, like that. You like, because even if I go back to the game right now, and again, I have about 10 to 15 hours in it. We'll go back to the game right now, and I tried to fight one of those little robots at the outpost. They like two of them would kill me. Would
Yeah,
fry my ass, right? And so, like the amount of resource gathering, the amount of base building, the amount of exploration you have to do to get to even some of the free end game content. Well, not necessarily end game, because there really isn't an end game in No
there's
Man's
no end
Sky.
game in No Man's
There's no
Sky.
end game to get to that to the later game content of No Man's Sky takes a week's worth, 2 weeks worth of playing the game. You got to be dedicated to that hell. So my thing is, if Starfield, which gave me Starfield, I'd rather they just did a solar system. Just give me one solar system of like 8 planets,
Right.
8, 9 planets. Build on that, and then if we can sell space battles like that, and then give me a DLC solar system, and then we could travel from solar system to solar system, and then give me that, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm with you. I'm hanging with you. I'm hanging with you. But I'm not. I don't want that. But my thing is this: if Starfield, if they can streamline the resource gathering and base building from No Man's Sky, right? That's a huge undertaking of creating bases and having to get certain resources to finish certain challenges, so you can get this. They can finish that, but keep the narrative and story structure from Skyrim and from Fallout, the Fallouts. Do something similar to those. It's a great game. That's an amazing game. I'm sorry, that's a game of the year candidate. That's
Yeah.
just facts. And it's so that I don't know why people are so quick to like jump on it and be like, oh nah, I'm like, but it's like, but y'all haven't we haven't seen really any of the story. The worst part about the show, about the gameplay from it, was that it was 24 FPS, and we need to see that 60. We need to see that 60, 1440p. We need to see that at its best,
Mhm.
right? For
Right.
for us to really be like it's good or bad, right? And some people have a problem with the color schemes. I don't necessarily care too much. As long as each planet looks different from last planet, I'm good.
Right.
I'm good. But besides that, people harping on stuff that they have no idea about yet. You literally
Yeah.
have no clue what the game is about yet.
Yeah. People. I mean, they did what is it called? Now on the extended thing that I watched, and then like a little bit of what I saw from like the Starfield when showcasing it, they did say, and they did give an idea of what it was. Basically, you're this guy who joins a group of people to find like some kind of um special vision. They all had a vision of some sort,
Mm-hmm.
and try and find out like the truth behind it. So
Yeah.
that's basically what I got from like watching it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but besides that, there isn't really much of what the game is really about. So,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, people shouldn't really be dogging on Starfield for like the gameplay and all that kind of stuff. Like I understand, yeah, you want to see Starfield on like the best performance, but then again, not every game that they showcase needs to be on its best performance because the majority of the time you want to see the gameplay. If the gameplay is good or bad, then obviously I know that the system is going to come out can support 60 frames per second. There's no reason to like worry about saying like, oh, we didn't see in 60 frames per second the game ain't good. That's like saying like, oh, we didn't see Call of Duty or Horizon Forbidden West in 60 frames per second. It ain't gonna be good. But then again, Horizon Forbidden West on PlayStation 4 was 30 frames per second and it played good. So people can
Exactly. It's something that doesn't really matter. Like
doesn't matter.
it doesn't really matter. Like because like you're not really most people aren't going to see the difference between the 30 and 60 frames.
Yeah.
That's real. It's not like it's 1080 versus 4K, which again is also a small difference, high key. But it's like it's me. I would love to see that 60,
Yeah.
45, 60. That would be great. But if it runs smooth like butter and it looks crisp on my screen, I'm not going to tell a difference. I'm
Mhm.
most of y'all, most people, unless you're even if you're a PC gamer or something like that, right? But most regular gamers who's playing on their TV are not playing on 4K 60 frame per second TVs.
Mhm.
They're not. They're
Not.
playing on a variable 1080 30. and they got a little console thing that pushes it above 1080 to like 12 something or whatever. Like it's not they're not even really using the full power of their Series X console. They're using like 70 50% 60 70% of it. Like
Yeah.
they're not because they're not pushing it to 4K 60. They don't got the TV that's compatible with all the bells and whistles and shit. So if it stays between 30 to 45 and it pushes about 14 40p resolution, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
No,
That's
no.
fine.
Only people that know the difference are people who play on PC and use monitors and stuff like that who will know the difference. They'll know the difference, but for the common man, they'll be like, "Wow, this game looks tight. The game looks dope." I remember when Destiny 1 came out, and I had my TV I had in my room at the time was a piece of shit, and then I would go and play it on the big TV. I was the big TV, the family TV, which is much better than my shitty TV. And it looked 10 times better. Once I got on the big TV, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know it could look like this. I didn't even know Destiny could look like this. It looks crisp, but when you playing the game, you're not gonna know the difference. You're not gonna know the difference until you get into it. Like I didn't even know why it looked different. I just said, oh, that's a newer TV, gotta look better. Just like that.
Yeah.
So most people not gonna know different. Most people not gonna know. Most people, if it came out, I feel like it's still a little wonky. There's some little gameplay issues, little bugs that you need to fix out that you can tell from the gameplay. But they fix those within the next 6 to 8 months, which is what we're being promised by them pushing it back. Then solid game. And if
Right.
they can do what I said before, game of the year contender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think eventually will do that because if they're putting all they put all the work and effort in the game, because they have to ask for it to be delayed so they can do that much effort. Because yeah, some games like I know you were saying earlier, people like saying like they should like people like saying like, it's cool, it just delay the game, make it better. But we're talking about Obsidian, sorry, Bethesda here.
Yeah.
So they make good games. So they I mean, sure. I don't think they've made a bad game. I don't think they have done none that I think of. Well, besides Fallout 76. So besides that, they haven't made a bad game. So I have confidence, but not too much high hope that they can.
I just hope they release it with less bugs than they usually do when they release games. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be a day one patch no matter what because somebody's going to break something or there's going to be two people want to. Well, no, this is a single player game. I don't know. They might have. I wonder because there's still more to know about Starfield. I wonder if there'll be a multiplayer. I wonder if you'll be able to go to other people's worlds and stuff like that or not. I doubt it, but it would be interesting if there is a multiplayer space.
I mean, they would have to like basically do it like Fallout 76 with multiplayer.
Which I think would not necessarily be a problem.
True. That one
Right?
bad. Yeah, if they actually if they can do that, that should be pretty good because that way they can have people who like come to visit your planet. You can do, I guess, raid fights or something, co-op battles with the monster, or like enemy territory fight enemies with a co-op. That would be
I'm wondering because I feel like again we don't know everything about the game yet. They've released some gameplay, cool, but they haven't told us all the systems and everything that goes into the game. So if it came out and they said, "Oh yeah, there is a multiplayer feature," I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised because I mean Fallout 76. I mean again, they had to learn something from it. So maybe there will be. Maybe there'll be a multiplayer feature on it. Would now be interesting for me to see.
okay. Yeah, that would be interesting. Because like I said, if they can have the multiplayer feature, that'd be great. If not, that's fine. Single player still looks good.
No, single player is still dope. I'm still cool with an all single player game, but with how things are moving, it wouldn't be surprising if they had a game with a slight multiplayer on it.
Hmm. Yeah, but overall, I think that'd be good. So
No, yeah, no, I think it'd be dope.
yeah. So let's see. We mentioned all that is the most noticeable games already on the that was showcased. Um, now me and you talked about certain companies that didn't like showcase in the Xbox showcase that didn't come and show. Now,
Mhm.
do you think that was like maybe that's like one of the things that people were expecting? Because I know people were assuming that they were expecting like maybe Fable or Avoid. Because I know
Avowed.
actually
It's avowed, bro.
Avowed. I don't think about Avoid. So Avowed, yes, Avowed. So yeah, because I know people were like
Um,
saying like, "Oh, where's Avowed?" Because I saw that in like the little live chat team whenever they were showing it. They're like, "Where's Avowed?" I'm like, I mean,
this is how I feel about it. This is how I feel about it. Stop having expectations.
yeah,
Stop thinking that they have to please you. They don't. They don't. Like, because, and what I mean is specifically you. I mean specifically you, person listening, right? They don't have to please you. They got to please everybody. First of all. Second of all, they got to please their own studios and they got to make sure that they're ready to give something out, right? Because
right,
the way the landscape is, if they give out a CGI trailer, y'all gonna go in an uproar, and rightly so, because we've been bamboozled before. As we've been bamboozled. All right, Anthem, one of the biggest bamboozle jobs in history. Anthem is
hmm
one of the biggest gotchas, one of the biggest gotchas in game history. Right,
hmm
all these CGI trailers, all these TED talks, all these blah 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 blah. Game comes out, garbage,
garbage. There's no
garbage.
end content,
No end
nothing
content, no
added
help.
at all. Just more cosmetics every single monthly
G,
refresh. Like,
G, garbage, right? So we've been burned. So I'm
mhm.
not mad at y'all for feeling burned, right? But but that's why stop having expectations. Just
Yeah,
come in, just go into it and be like, yo, I'm gonna take what they show me and I'm gonna bro with it, right? You
uh
want Fable. We knew Fable wasn't coming.
yeah. I knew it
Like
was.
like we like the only thing we knew basically for sure was coming was Starfield gameplay.
Hmm.
That's it. Everything else necessarily surprised us. That's why Diablo 4 was such a big surprise. No one had
Diablo
no
4
clue.
was a big
No
surprise
one
for
had
me.
no clue that was coming, right?
Flintlock.
Flintlock, Redfall. Even though we knew we were going to get gameplay soon, we were going to get something soon because they told us they were going to give us something soon.
Hmm.
We didn't know what it was going to be. I believe so. They might tell us gameplay. I can't remember. We knew those be, but we got Redfall gameplay, right? So we got stuff that we might not have thought we were going to get, and the stuff they told us that we are going to get, we got.
Hmm.
People put their own thoughts in their head that I deserve this. We deserve that. Y'all don't deserve shit. I'm just
Yeah,
being real.
you
All
don't
right.
deserve
Yeah, I
shit.
don't deserve shit. All right. They're gonna give you what they can give you because if they give you what they can't, you'll complain about it. And if they showed us a trailer, a CGI trailer for Fable, right?
Hmm.
A week later, oh, I can't believe they showed us a CGI Fable trailer when they'll give us gameplay. But y'all wanted to look ahead, and that's all they
Yeah,
can do with the look ahead is give you some story CGI trailer that we gonna forget about in a week because we ain't getting no gameplay.
hmm
Oh my gosh. Like it's just like uh, uh,
yeah.
that's why,
People
man.
just be expecting a lot of shit. Like I don't understand.
And
Like
stop having
yeah,
expectations, man. Like
like
just come in and just accept it for what it is.
hmm the same for what it is. Like they showed they showed at least what 3, 4, 5, probably 7 surprising games. I didn't expect them to show that actually look good to play. Like dude, like Diablo 4. I knew it was Diablo 4 when I saw it, but I wasn't expecting it to actually. I was expecting it to be right because I know a Diablo game when I see it,
Yep.
regardless of what CGI, whatever, the way they speak and everything. I knew it was going to be a Diablo, but I thought it was going to be like a Diablo like
Another phone
remake
game.
something, but it was Diablo 4. They're
You
like,
thought these things could be another mobile game?
yeah, it's going to be an animal, but like, bam, here you go, we fooled you. It's past 4. I'm like, oh,
It's
okay,
actual
shit.
4, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised too. I'm shocked. And then what? We got Overwatch 2, which I thought was like going to like come out sometime next year, but it's coming out this year on Xbox. Well, no, it's gonna be on multi-platform, but it's gonna be on Xbox for free. So, yeah, basically, yeah. And then what else was there? We got some gameplay of Tales of Requiem, Part 2. That shit looks fucking tight. High on Life, that shit will be fun to play whether you're high or not. That's the kind of game that, and basically simple that made Rick and Morty. Like when I saw that, I'm like, okay, this game is gonna be fun to play. Cause
There's just so much there that just is so like like it's gonna be so good
so much.
it has the possibility of being really good. The
hmm
possibility. I'm gonna say it's going to be possibly being good because even Flintlock, which I did like to watch, I still want to see more. I still want to see more. But I loved watching. I'm watching this, my eyes wide open, popped at the screen, like yes, I can't wait to get this. Like
hmm And then you have Nara, what's
Naraka,
that? Nara,
Naraka Blade Point. Yeah.
Playpoint. Now it was originally a PC game, but now it's on console, which is good because the gameplay on
And they got a solo campaign now, which I'm
and
definitely
it's
gonna
solo
fuck with.
campaign. See, there was a lot of shit on Xbox Game Showcase that basically like makes state of play fucking shit. But I'm like people who say the state of play was better than the Xbox Showcase. You are not real gamers. You are not real gamers at all. Okay.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say this. You say the state of play is better than the showcase. You trolling because the state of play. I can't think. When was the last time I can state of play? When was the last time they had a state of play that showed as many games and showed as many first party titles as the showcase did? Whether I'm any day, whether you like them or not, that's how I feel.
None. And then I can't remember none.
Exactly. It's not one
None.
because the state of plays are mainly it'd be one big game every what third state of play. Every other one is just indie games that we forget about that Sony fans hype up. Oh yeah, this state of play is going to show me this, and that, knowing damn well that. And thinking Sony is actually good at this. Sony will say, yeah, so this state of play, we're going to show you about 2 indie games that we like, and people will be like, oh, they're lying to us. They're being sneaky. We're going to get the God of War release date. I just know it. I just know. And then it comes and they show those 2 indie games they really like, and they're like, they lied to us. How could they? It's like, man, come on, bro. Like the state of play at this point, I feel like it's just it's just whatever fun that they're having. They're just like, we like this game. We're gonna talk about it, and I'm cool with that. But state of play is, I don't know. I don't watch state of plays anymore. I only watch state of play if something is confirmed that I'm going to want to see, and most of the time, it never happens.
Yeah. I mean, I still watch the play just because I don't watch it. I just listen to it and then do whatever because I can just like it's on YouTube. I can just like basically just do whatever and just multitask. Now, if I hear of a game that I've never heard before or something, then yeah, that'd be interesting. Um, Honestly, the last play that they showed was there wasn't really much interesting. Now, obviously, yeah, Resident Evil 4 remake, we already know about that a long time ago. They
Yep.
just confirmed it, so there's nothing, wasn't really a shocker or anything, so nothing big there. What else did they show that was great? Final Fantasy 16. They showed gameplay. I mean, gameplay was good.
Well, I think Final Fantasy 16 was actually the biggest game in that game, show
yeah,
because we still don't know if that's gonna be cross-platform or not. Which I'll be surprised if it's not. Right now it's looking like, from what I've looked up, it's going to be a limited exclusive, not limited exclusive, a timed exclusive, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. If unless Final Fantasy 16 blows out the water when reviews come in, I'm gonna be pressed about it.
Yeah. Well, if Final Fantasy 16 becomes an exclusive console exclusive, it might not do that great because that's basically what Final Fantasy 7 remake did, and it didn't do that great because they had to like what lower the price a little bit for people to like buy it after like what 1 month of release, and I was seeing like ads for like buy it now and get 20% off, buy it now and get 40% off.
I wonder what the North American market is for Final Fantasy games. Like I know the Japanese market, that market's really big for it, right? Because Final Fantasy games are pretty good. So, but I know the Japanese market's strong for it. But especially for the new style of Final Fantasy games, I wonder what the North American market is for it. And that's my really question. That's my big question.
I think it should be like decent because honestly, there's a lot of people that plays a lot of Final Fantasy games that even talks about it. Because I know people who plays like the online version of Final Fantasy 14. Like there's a big group of them in the North America that plays it. So if people who plays the online version, I would think people will be also interested in like every other Final Fantasy games that come out. So because people won't play the online version if they didn't have an idea of a Final Fantasy. I mean, they probably will still play it, but if they didn't know what a Final Fantasy game was to begin with, then
yeah. Plus, I wonder when Final Fantasy 16, if it is a timed exclusive, when it comes off, will it go straight to Game Pass? Because remember, Final Fantasy 15, when Game Pass got created, probably like 8 months, 9 months after, all the DLC came out, you could get Final Fantasy 15 plus all the DLC on your Xbox through Game Pass.
it will most likely be on Game Pass because
That's what I'm feeling. I gotta check. I don't know if Final Fantasy 15 is still on Game Pass. But if it is, again, it would not surprise me. Time exclusive runs out, or if it never goes time exclusive. Let's say it gives 6 months and then boom, Game Pass.
yeah, actually, Final Fantasy 15 last I checked, it was removed from Game Pass, for some more Final Fantasy games. So they still have like what I think they have like what 3 or 4 Final Fantasy games now on Game Pass. One is like I think 3 of them are like from like the old versions, but just like remastered, and then one is like a like building some kind of like kitty looking one. I can't remember what it was called, but but yeah, they got like a bunch of Final Fantasy games on Game Pass. So I wouldn't be surprised if Final Fantasy 16 made itself to Game Pass.
Game Pass, yeah. Which it being exclusive is also weird to me. I mean, again, it's whoever's the highest bidder, right? Whoever's the highest bidder gets the game. So again, it wouldn't be surprising, but I just feel like it has to end up on Game Pass. I don't see why, unless the downloads weren't looking straight for it. I don't see why it wouldn't end up there at some point, or if it just wouldn't end up on Xbox at some point.
It will end up in Xbox because aren't really. I mean, there's only like 2 Final Fantasy games that I know that didn't make it on Xbox, and that was like Final Fantasy 15 and then Final Fantasy 14 online, which was like PlayStation. Sorry, I mean Final Fantasy 7 remake and Final Fantasy 14 online, which are like PlayStation exclusive. But every other Final Fantasy game so far have been like multi-platform for Xbox and PlayStation. So
exactly,
most likely will be on Xbox. It was a timed exclusive. So
yeah.
but yeah. But yeah, I think that's enough for that. We've ranted about enough about Xbox Game Pass. How it was a good showcase. There shouldn't be like. So what would you rate the Xbox showcase? What would you rate it as?
Let's see. So for me, I'm giving it probably a crisp 8.
8.
Eight.
Okay.
I'm only giving. See now there's stipulations. Number one, the amount of games that they showed. Right. My thing is, I don't always think about myself. I think about every gamer. I try my best to. Right.
Mhm.
And I think they gave something that every gamer could like. Like even our boy Ray Apollo, from other pods for that from
Yeah.
his own stuff. He was talking about that farming simulator game or whatever, Lightyear, whatever, and he was like, "Give it to me now." Now me, I was like, "Yeah, y'all can skip this," but to him, give it to me now. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. I think they really did a good job of giving every gamer a
Uh,
type of game for them, a type of game for them. I think they did a good job of doing that. Right now, also we got to talk about gameplay. We got solid gameplay from most of the games we were given. Most of the games we got solid gameplay that give us an idea of what we're going to get when we get these games that come out. Right?
Mhm.
Boom. Okay. All out the way. Why it's getting an 8 and not higher? Again, I don't think it's perfect. Starfield Kate, it still looks rough. Starfield looks rough, right? I still think that the 12 they should have, and somebody said this, and I agree with it. They should have ahead of schedule before the showcase came out said, "Yo, this is the showcase will only show games 12 minutes ahead of schedule." They should have said that because that curbs not some enthusiasm, it curbs some expectations and gets people more in tune with what they're trying to present to us. Right? Tell us that ahead of time. I like that. Tell us that ahead of time. What you're gonna do? You don't gotta tell us what you're showing. Tell us that ahead of time, and that'll help curb expectations and give you a better response after the show is over. And then besides that, like those are really the reasons that kind of pushed it up and down for me. It's just like I think they did a really good job also mixing surprises. Diablo 4, Persona, Hideo Kojima, like they did a good job mixing surprises. So I think it was a good showcase.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. Just for also the same reason as you, but like they informed us of what to expect. Like you don't see, no, you ain't gonna get that from anywhere else. Like
Mhm.
they informed you to say what to expect. This is what you're gonna expect. Here's what we're gonna show in the next that you're gonna expect in the next 12 months. So within this 12 months of time frame, you will get all these games that was showcased and not and we showed a whole lot of gameplay of what it looks like. And I think almost basically every game that they showed has some kind of gameplay.
Yep.
Nothing didn't feel like there was like little gameplay or nothing. They showed every gameplay. And they had some surprise reveals that like they didn't really expecting at all, which is good. You don't see that. You didn't see that. You haven't seen that in a while from like what from State of Play or like I mean, yeah, for still play. Nintendo Direct, they do that sometimes, but yeah, I wasn't really expecting any of that to be like revealed on the Xbox showcase. So I say they did a good job. So in the next 12 months, we'll be getting all the games, or at least expecting the games to be come out in 12 months, which they did showcase. So, which is good. So you have a whole ass year to get ready to play these games. So,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, that's all I have to say about Xbox Showcase. They did a good job. So we're going to end it here. But before we do, let's just go ahead and plug our socials. That way you can find us and find us where we could chat with us or just try and speak with us. We go before I input mine. Go ahead and input yours. Black Anime, Aaron. So
Hey, like I said before, it's your boy Aaron, aka Lost Homie, aka the Anime Anthology from the Black Anime Podcast, BLXXK Anime. We also do a lot of reels on Instagram. We're doing a lot of stuff on. We post a lot on Twitter. We have a few videos on YouTube. We're trying to post more. We're trying. We find our groove now with what we're doing. I got some videos on YouTube. All that. Any support is lovely. Any support is lovely on any of them. So yeah, please look out for us. We'll be at DreamCon. We're actually doing a panel at DreamCon. Doing like a live podcast. So we're doing that. So we trying to do a little bit, trying to get out there. So please check us out. We'd really appreciate it.
all right. I didn't even you guys have a
Hey,
panel. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, this is like first time talking about. I'm gonna announce it though. We're definitely gonna
Yeah.
announce it. It'll
Yeah.
come out.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be good. Yeah. Shit. No, I'll definitely be there then. Shit.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
show my face there, 'cause, gotta support the black anime group. So, but yeah, I know, and you got me, both on there. You can catch me on Twitter and Twitch. But yeah, I'm part of the 8 Month group, so thanks for listening to our episodes. We'll be giving out, we do our best, to, like, give you guys episodes that you enjoy to talk about. So I appreciate all your support. And I have to, like, give a shout out to people who couldn't be here. Hydro, Denny, Alpha. They couldn't be here. Those are like our gamer groups. This is a gamer episode, but they have, like, personal prior engagements that they can't really make it. So shout out to them and Steve as well. He did appear here, but he had other prior engagements to take care of. So, but yeah, and also, since I'm doing that, might as well, like, tell them that we have a merch store. You can check it out on our 8mob Twitter account. With all our link trees is there, and it also has the merch store link to there. So check it out. Store. We will eventually be adding some more merch in there. So keep a lookout for that. But we have everything in there that you guys that are useful to you guys. So nothing is there that won't be useful. But yeah, check out our merch store on our 8 page. You can find out, it's called Inside the Mind of the Blurred. Hash at 8mob. So, but yeah, check us out. Give us a follow. We talk a lot on Twitter. You can follow us. You can follow all the members in there. Let me just include well, Black. Okay, yes, I'm just having brain fart right now because I'm hungry. That's why. When you're hungry,
Yeah.
you just have brain fart. But yeah, yeah, Crystal, Black, and Abe, who is part of the 8mob. So yeah. But that's about it. And with that being said, thank you for watching. Tell us how you feel. Tweet about it on our Twitter page. Tell us how you feel about the Xbox showcase. Do you like it or not? Um, that's about it. So, same time, same place. Thanks for watching, and see you around. Peace, bye, au revoir, or whatever goodbyes you say in your language. So, bye. We're done.
Peace.